Good evening. Thank you for attending this evening's board meeting. CMHA is holding its monthly board meeting virtually via webcam and teleconferencing on Tuesday, September 29, 2020, as approved through Ohio's novel coronavirus response bill, which directly affects how local governments throughout the state operate in conducting public business. These sweeping changes were approved Thursday, March 27, 2020. This provision sunsets when the governor withdraws the state of emergency or December 1st, 2020, whichever is sooner. This is the contemporaneous meeting for instrumentalities that do not have any new business or matters requiring deliberation. The meetings of the following instrumentalities: Laurel Homes 1, Lincoln View Incorporated, Reserve on South Martin, Southwest Ohio Housing Development Incorporated, Touchstone Property Services, Erie Crossing Development Corporation, West Union Square Development Corporation, Sutterview Development Corporation, Pinecrest RAD, excuse me, I'll say again, Pinecrest RAD Development Corporation, Park Eden Evanston LLC, Park Eden Apartments Development Corporation, Mariana Terrace Development Corporation, and Bennett Point Development Corporation are hereby called to order. Roll call for attendance, Ms. Mitchell.
Present.
Mr. Weidman.
Present.
Mr. Harris.
Present.
And the chair is present. We have a quorum. Commissioners, have you reviewed the August 25th, 2020 minutes for these instrumentalities?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Did I hear a second from Laverne?
Second, yes.
Thank you. And let's see, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weidman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, the motion passes. There is no new business for these instrumentalities, so
Motion to adjourn.
thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weidman.
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, the meeting is adjourned. Now we move on to the evening's regular board meeting of the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority for Tuesday, September 29, 2020. The meeting is now called to order. Roll call for attendance, Ms. Mitchell,
Present.
Mr. Weidman,
Present.
Mr. Harris,
Present.
and the chair is present. We have a quorum. Item 3 is approval of minutes.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Thank you. A second.
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 Thank you. A roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weidman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The motion passes. Item 4 in our agenda is presentations, of which we have none this month. Moving on, item 5 is public comments, nor do we have any requests to speak this month. Item 6 is the JRAB Ross grant update. Any questions or comment from the
Mr.
commissioners
Chair.
on this report?
I have a question.
Please.
So they talk about the surveys that they took and the focus groups to talk about reducing disparities. So can we get a copy of those?
I have not asked for one, but I could ask for one tomorrow to see if we could get a copy of the results and actually which complexes they surveyed as well. So I'll get I'll ask for a copy of those. And then
Okay.
once I receive those, I'll distribute those to the board.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Any other thoughts, Laverne?
Well,
Good
I was
question.
just wondering, what the results were and
Mhm.
what JRAB was going to do to try to address those disparities, or what is it that the board can review and suggest to Mr. Johnson. It seems like we ought to be able to do something else other than just take the surveys. And we took the surveys. Now, how do we affect what the surveys tell us?
Right.
Very well.
Yep.
We'll look forward to Greg's follow-up on that. Moving on, if I may. Item 7 is discussion of secretary recommendations. 7A is the financial report. And so resolution 5452, approving the bad debt write-off for August 2020. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion from the board? Hearing none. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Now, resolution 5453, approving the fiscal year 2021 July and August 2020 financial statements for the Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Questions or discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Now, item 7B is a request for proposal to solicit bids for the following items. We have none for this month. Thank you. Item 7C is resolutions to award contract renewals. Resolution 5454, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign the first one-year contract extension option for contract 2019-1014 HVAC maintenance services. Item 7C is resolutions to award with Airflow Mechanical Services Incorporated. 5454. Are you getting feedback? Anyone else on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Mark, can you turn your mute on, Mark?
It's a long delay.
Does everybody have their mute on? Okay, let's try that.
Okay, I'll start again with resolution 5454, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign the first one-year contract extension option for contract 2019-1014 HVAC maintenance services with Airflow Mechanical Services Incorporated, A1 Quality Home Improvement and Roofing LLC, Blau Mechanical Incorporated, the Geiler Company, and Triton Services Incorporated, and not to exceed amounts of $500,000 annually per firm for a maximum 5-year contract paid for by operating funds.
Motion.
Thank you. The second.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes. Resolution 5455, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to sign the first one-year contract extension option for contract 2019-1015. Plumbing maintenance services with the Geiler Company, Blau Mechanical Incorporated, Triton Services Incorporated, Queen City Mechanicals Incorporated, Wise and Associates Incorporated, Roto-Rooter Services Company, and David K. Smith, doing business as Smith Mechanical Plumbing Hydronics, and not to exceed amounts of $500,000 annually per firm for maximum 5-year contracts paid for by operating funds.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, the resolution passes. Item 7D is adopt a resolution to award the following construction contracts, of which we have none this month. Item 7E is adopt a resolution, the general category, Resolution 5456, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to negotiate and enter into lease agreement with Cincinnati College Preparatory Academy at City West Retail, specifically 1434-1436 Lynn Street.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions?
I'm
Discussion.
gonna abstain from this vote because of conflict.
Noted. Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. The resolution passes, noting Mr. Harris's abstaining. Resolution 5457, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to negotiate and enter into a contract for solicitation 2020-1011. Unarmed uniformed security guard services with Vets Security America Incorporated, Gracie's Environmental Services LLC, and BWH Security LLC, in a not to exceed amount of $1,800,000 annually to the pool of contractors or board approved budget for a maximum 3-year contract paid for by operating funds.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion?
Yeah, is this pretty consistent with what we've done in the previous years, or is this up, this cost?
Mount.
The cost is pretty consistent. We actually been averaging out what we've been spending. And so we kind of did it a little different this time. The budget is the same, but the annual pool of contractors. So if someone is not performing, it gives us the option to go with someone else. And the residents got a chance to weigh in on who gets in the pool as well.
Okay, good. I have no other questions.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, the resolution passes. Resolution 5458, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to negotiate and enter into a contract for solicitation 2020-4002. Bond counsel with Ballard Spar LLP, Coates Rose PC, and Taft Stettinius and Hollister LLP in a not to exceed amount of $500,000 annually, or the board approved budget for a maximum 3-year contract paid for by development funds. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on this resolution? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, the resolution passes. Resolution 5459, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to negotiate and enter into contract for solicitation 2020-4003. Development partners for projects located in Hamilton County, Ohio, with Gorman and Company LLC, the Model Group Incorporated, Penrose LLC, Urban Sites Construction LLC, and Walla Kennedy Development Company.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
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 Thank you. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye, the resolution passes. Resolution 5460, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to negotiate and enter into contract for solicitation 2020-4005. RAD physical condition assessments with Bureau Veritas Technical Assessments, LLC, Dominion Environmental Group Incorporated, doing business as Dominion Due Diligence Group, and On-Site Insight Incorporated, in a not to exceed amount of $280,000 annually, or the board approved budget for a maximum 3-year contract paid for by capital funds.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Excuse me. Thank you. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Aye.
The chair votes aye, the resolution passes. Resolution 5461, authorizing the CEO of CMHA to negotiate and execute an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Cincinnati for the repair of hillside and partial revocation of street privilege.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris.
Like he's frozen.
Here I am. Aye.
Okay, thank you. And the chair votes aye, the resolution passes. We have 2 memorandums that were provided regarding sheriff's services as it pertains to maintaining the services while we work with the sheriff's department on an MOU. Are there any questions or discussion from board members on that? All right. If there's no other business to come before the board,
Mr. Chair,
yes, please.
I have one recommendation
Please.
on item 5457, resolution was approved for security services. I just would like to add a amendment, just it says paid for by operating, and I would like to add paid for by operating and admin fees.
Okay.
You want me to just amend my motion, amend my motion to include the admin fees?
Second.
Very well,
Okay.
thank you. Any questions or discussion on that amended motion? Hearing none, roll call. Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye, the resolution passes.
Motion to
Anything-
adjourn.
Okay. A second,
Second.
thank you.
This is our shortest meeting ever, by the way.
Well,
It's
I don't know.
close.
I don't know if that's a badge of honor or not, but
Tonight it is.
but it's just proof that we could do it, right?
Amen.
Right.
Your favorite Catholic priest, the one who says mass quickest, right?
Yes, that's right.
So let's see. Roll call, Ms. Mitchell,
Aye.
Mr. Weedman,
Aye.
Mr. Harris,
Aye.
thank you. And the chair votes aye. The motion passes and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all so much for your efforts to make this meeting possible tonight. It's just more proof that we have a very collegial effort going, and that's not nothing. It's something to be appreciated. And I say that to each and every one of you.
Thank you.
And have a great night until we
Thank you.
meet
Good
again.
night.
Thank you.
In the
Bye.
words
Thank
of-
you.
Night. Thank you.
in the
Thank you.
words of Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, happy trails.
See you.
Night.
Bye.